You feel modern, civilized, in control. But hidden inside you is a Stone Age caveman who has no idea any of this exists. And the gap between him and your world is quietly making you sick. Your body has no idea it's the 21st century. Right now, it thinks you're on the African savanna, 50,000 years ago, hunting, starving, sleeping under the stars. Every craving you fight, every night you can't sleep, every wave of anxiety that hits for no reason, that's not a flaw in you. It's a caveman, trapped in a glass and concrete world he was never built for. And that quiet mismatch is making you tired, anxious, and sick. For 99% of our story, you were a forager. The cure for modern life was written into your body long ago. Let me show you the 8 signals your Stone Age body is still desperately waiting for. Start with the one you feel every single day. Hunger for sugar. For 2 million years, sweet meant one thing: a ripe fruit, safe to eat, packed with rare energy. Sugar was a treasure you found maybe twice a year. So your brain built a simple rule. When you find it, eat all of it, now. That rule kept your ancestors alive. But today, the treasure never runs out. In 1900, the average person ate 4 pounds of added sugar a year. Today, the average adult eats about 17 teaspoons a day, 2 to 3 times the safe limit. Your reward system, built for famine, is drowning in a flood. Hunter-gatherers had obesity rates under 5% and type 2 diabetes so rare scientists could barely find a case. Today, 38 million Americans have diabetes. Same body, different world. Now, the old thrifty gene idea that we evolved to hoard fat for famines is actually disputed. The mechanism is debated. The mismatch is not. The fix isn't willpower. It's removing the flood. Eat food that doesn't come in a wrapper. Your body never craved an apple it couldn't handle, only the sugar we ripped out of it and concentrated into everything. Starve the gorging gene, and it goes quiet. But food isn't the only ancient instinct modern life hijacked. Watch what happens when the sun goes down. Your ancestors fell asleep about 3 hours after sunset and woke just before dawn, pulled under not by a clock, but by the falling temperature of the night. Today, we do the opposite. We flood our eyes with daylight at midnight, then jolt awake with an alarm. The Hadza, the sun, the Simone, modern hunter-gatherers, sleep about 6.5 hours a night, and insomnia? They have rates around 1 to 2%. Their languages don't even have a word for it. Ours has whole pharmacies. You've heard we used to sleep in 2 halves, waking for an hour at midnight. That's a real historical record, but it's contested, so don't take it as gospel. The fix is to give your body the signals it's listening for. Bright light in the morning, darkness, dim and warm, at night, and a cool, cool room. Because that drop in temperature is the ancient trigger that tells your body it is finally safe to sleep. And that fight over light runs deeper than sleep. Your inner clock is set by one thing: the sun. For 1 million years, your eyes drank in blazing daylight by day and saw real darkness by night. Then we moved indoors and inverted the whole thing. Direct sunlight is 100,000 lux of brightness. A bright office? Maybe 500. You spend your days in a cave and your nights staring into a fake little sun in your hand. In a Harvard experiment, blue light at night suppressed melatonin for twice as long and shoved the body clock back by about 3 hours. The result of living in this twilight? Vitamin D deficiency touches up to 1 billion people, and seasonal depression hits up to 1 in 10 of us every winter. The fix is almost insultingly simple. Get outside in the morning. Real light within an hour of waking. Then, dim everything at night. Give your clock the sunrise and the sunset it has waited for, since before you were human. Now, with light and sleep handled, look at how your body was meant to move. Not like this. Your ancestors didn't exercise. They just lived, and living meant motion. The Hadza walk up to 19,000 steps a day, more in a day than most of us manage in a week. But here's the twist that breaks the whole gym fantasy. Despite moving constantly, the Hadza burn the same daily calories as you do sitting at your desk. Your body adapts. It caps the total, which means weight isn't mostly about burning more. It's about what goes in. This constrained energy idea is debated too, but the point holds. So if exercise barely changes the calorie math, why move at all? Because sitting is doing something quietly brutal. Sit 10 or more hours a day, and your risk of dying early climbs 34%, even if you hit the gym. The morning workout does not undo the 10-hour chair. The fix isn't an hour of pain. It's breaking the stillness. Every 20 to 30 minutes, stand and walk 2 minutes. In studies, that small move alone dropped blood sugar and insulin. And just standing wasn't enough. You had to walk, like your ancestors never stopped doing. But the deadliest mismatch isn't in your body. It's in your head. Picture a zebra. A lion charges, the zebra sprints, the chase ends, and 3 minutes later, it's grazing again, calm. That's what stress was built for. A burst, a sprint, then over. Your stress hormones evolved for a predator you outran in 90 seconds. But you don't outrun your predators. You answer them by email. The mortgage, the deadline, the argument you keep replaying at 3 in the morning. As the scientist Robert Sapolsky put it, we turn on a system built for emergencies and leave it running for months. And a stress response that never shuts off stops protecting you and starts corroding you. Chronic cortisol shrinks the memory center of your brain, raises your blood pressure, and wears down your heart. Your alarm was designed like a smoke detector. Cheap, loud, quick to false alarm, because missing a real lion once cost everything. But now the alarm never stops screaming, and there's no fire. The fix is to finish the sprint your body started. Move. Physically discharge it. Yoga and exercise measurably lower cortisol. Breathe. Meditate. It works in the trials. The threat is imaginary. The chemistry is real. Burn it off the way you were built to. And once the stress clears, you'll feel the deepest hunger of all. Not for food, for people. You were never meant to live among strangers. For almost all of history, you lived inside a band. A tight web of about 150 faces. The same faces for life. Scientists call it Dunbar's number, and your brain still runs on it. A handful of intimates, a ring of close friends, out to that circle of 150. Then we built cities of millions, where you can be surrounded and utterly alone. And loneliness isn't just sad, it's lethal. Across millions of people, loneliness raised the risk of early death by 26%, isolation by 29%. You've heard it's like smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The researcher says it got mangled. What she showed, weak social connection, overall, is comparable to that harm. Either way, the message survives. Your tribe is not a luxury, it is medicine. So the fix isn't more followers, it's depth. Guard the inner circle, the 5, the 15. See them in person again and again, because bonds decay without it. Loneliness is just hunger, wearing a different mask. Feed it. But there's a force engineered to keep you alone, scrolling, and it's the cleverest trap of all. Your brain runs on a balance, pleasure on one side, pain on the other. Find food, win status, and dopamine tips you toward pleasure. Then, to stay level, your brain tips you right back toward pain. In a world of scarcity, this was perfect. A little high, a little low. Keep moving. But we flooded that balance with infinite, effortless highs. As the psychiatrist Lembke says, the phone is the modern needle. Dopamine, on tap,
forever. And the app knows exactly what it's doing. The endless scroll is a slot machine. You don't pull the lever because you'll win. You pull it because you might. Chase that easy high again and again, and your baseline sinks below zero, into a flat, joyless place where nothing pleases you anymore. The fix sounds backwards. Reset. Lembke finds it takes about 30 days to climb out, and the first 2 weeks are the worst. Put friction between you and the lever. Delete the app. Leave the phone in another room. And ignore the dopamine detox hype. You're not draining a chemical. You're letting your receptors heal.
Then find your highs the ancient way, earned through effort. Real reward was always on the other side of a little pain. Which brings us to the final signal, the one we erased completely. Comfort. Your ancestors were never fully comfortable. Cold mornings, hot afternoons, hunger between kills, effort always. And those small, passing stresses didn't hurt them. They forged them. Scientists call it hormesis. A little stress makes you stronger. But we built a world with no edges. Heated, cooled, fed, and seated, you now live permanently in the one temperature where your body burns almost nothing and braces for nothing. So we have to add the edges back, on purpose. Brief cold wakes up calorie-burning fat. Heat helps too. Finnish men who used a sauna 4 to 7 times a week had 40% lower risk of dying in the study window.
Short fasts switch on autophagy, your cell's recycling crew. Work that won a Nobel Prize. Be honest, though. The cold plunge 250% dopamine stat came from 10 men sitting in water for an hour, not your 3-minute shower. And the fasting longevity evidence is far stronger in animals than in us. The rule is simple. The stress must be small, and it must end. A cold finish to your shower, a skipped breakfast, a walk in the cold air. Discomfort in tiny doses is not your enemy. It's the signal your body has been starving for. So here you are, a Stone Age human, in a world that arrived too fast for your body to follow. Craving sugar that never runs out? Lit up at midnight, dark at noon. Sitting where you should be walking. Alone where you should belong. Soothed where you should be sharpened.
You can't go back to the cave. You wouldn't want to. But you can give your body the 8 signals it's still listening for. Real food, real darkness, real light, real movement. A finished fight, your people. Earned joy, and a little bite of cold. You're not broken. You're just homesick for a world that no longer exists. And now, you know the way back. Next time, if your body is this out of step with the modern world, how did one fragile, anxious ape ever conquer it in the first place?
So you are not broken. You are just a Stone Age body surviving a world that arrived too fast. If this changed how you see yourself, subscribe. And next, watch how this same fragile, anxious ape conquered the entire planet. I will see you there.